Hello and welcome, PocketWatch here, and it's about time for another episode of Umineko. So yeah, last time we had a lovely date between Shannon and George, and let's go! Let's see what's going to happen next, because I feel like this is short-term happy life. I still wonder why the game just re-rolled like all the story. Probably batteries have like some kind of power that can like let her, you know, redo the like past 2 days, and she is like binded to the Rekenjima. Well, that will we see. So let's just go. After that, we gathered shells, ran from waves, and enjoyed each other's companies while walking along the beach. In the end, the clouds never parted. However, we both believed that the sea reflected in our eyes was a deep blue.
なんだか幸せすぎて怖くなります。
たまに言うね。何を怖がることがあるんだい？
私、後ろ宮家にお仕えする使用人です。
Yes, we know it.
そんな私が後ろ宮家に連なる方とこうしてご一緒してるなんて。
Well, you had the same concerns last time, but ultimately you know what you want.
その過ぎたことのように思えて。
僕もびっくりしてるよ。シャノンちゃんと出会ったのは昨日今日のことじゃない。何年も前から面識もある。でも年に何度もない親族の会合の席で挨拶をするだけ。そんな君とこうして一緒に過ごせる関係になるなんて全然想像できなかったよ。それはシャノンもでしょ。
Oh, we have new song. Is this like theme for Shannon and George, maybe?
私はその想像だけはしてました。
Aww.
その想像というよりはその妄想みたいなもので、いつも紳士的で思いやりのあるジョージ様とご縁があったらなって。
Yeah, George is awesome.
その妄想してただけで。
じゃあ僕たちの縁は君のその信じた心のおかげだね。思う力には魔法が宿るんだよ。だからその魔法がきっと僕らを巡り合わせてくれた。
Oh yes, magic indeed.
多分きっとそれは本当に魔法だったんだと思います。
でもね、そんなことはないんだよ。僕の中でも毎年出会うたびに美しく見違えていった君の存在はとても大きくなっていた。
Aww.
そして君にとっての僕も同じものだとしたなら、今日ここに僕らがあることは必然の結果であって魔法や奇跡なんかじゃないのさ。
奇跡はあったんです、ジョージ様。
I'm so silent, but I just want to like enjoy this moment, because we know there's not many moments like that. She stopped walking down the beach, gazing out beyond the sea.
奇跡？
魔法あったんです。
I was bewildered by that slightly mysterious phrase, which I sometimes heard her use.
魔法が？
はい、魔法です。言っても信じてくれないでしょうから言いません。
Interesting.
でも確かにその魔法には私とジョージ様を巡り合わせてくれる奇跡を叶える力がありました。
I assume she's talking about Beatrice right now. But yeah, obviously George would not believe her.
それは何かのおまじないのこと？
そうですね。一つ違うのはおまじないなんかじゃなく、 本当に本当の。
Maybe it's all girls, not just Shannon, who tend to treat encounters as miracles or coincidences. For a man like me, an encounter with a girl is 70% hard work to try and make her like you, 20% courage, and 10% coincidence. The part that means everything to her is much smaller factor in my mind. Maybe that way of thinking itself is calculating and typical of men. But if I said that out loud, it might dissolve all kinds of magic. To my mind, there were lots of coincidences, compromises, and expended effort on both sides before we gained the relationship we have today. And the culmination of all that, we get to spend this joyful time together. And if she wants to call that magic, I've got no objections to her choice of words. So I'll stand up for that magic.
そうだね。同じ運命を100回繰り返したら、僕と君がこういう関係になる結果は一度しか起こらないものだったかもしれないね。互いを意識し合いながらも、僕たちは他人行儀な関係を今も続けていたかもしれない。そんなよその世界の僕らから見れば、今の僕たちはまさに奇跡のような関係に違いないだろうから。
そういうのじゃなくて、本当に魔法なんです。
Yeah, she is talking about Beatrice.
男の方にいくら言ってもこういうのは信じてもらえないんでしょうか。
Okay.
カノン君も全然信じてくれませんし。
Okay, so maybe that's not about Beatrice then. Because Canon definitely believe in Beatrice, so... Yeah, maybe just like a little dog. Huh.
信じるよ。僕が信じなくて魔法が解けたら嫌だからね。
ジョージ様。
In a small voice, I apologized for saying something that trivialized her magic. Shannon seems to be glad to hear me say that. After all, if two people believe in magic of love, it becomes eternal. Aww.
そうそう。僕からわがままが一つあるんだけど、聞いてもらえないかな。
はい。
And what's that?
何でしょうか。
そのジョージ様って呼び方、嫌いじゃないけど、もうなしにしないかい？もちろん後ろ宮家では対面もあるだろうから、六軒島での普段まで強制はしないよ。
Okay.
でも二人きりの時はなしにしよう。うん、そういうルールにしよ
う。ルールですか？
I don't remember now. Let me know in the comment. In the episode 1, when they were alone in the garden, did they, like, get that rule out? Was Shannon called George-sama or not? I don't remember how she called him in that scene.
もし破ったらどうなるんでしょう？
そうだね。ルール違反には何か罰ゲームがないといけないかもしれないね。そうだな。何がいいかな。聞きたい？いえ、
聞きたくありません。
That's great.
何がいいか、僕も考えておくことにするよ。
はい、ジョージさん。
She might have called him George-san though.
うん。素敵な響きだね。嬉しいよ、シャノン。
私もサヨという。
Oh, this is when she like told him her name, her true name.
名前があります。
Yeah.
そっか。ルールはフェアじゃないといけないね。僕もそれを守って、今から君のことをサヨと呼ぶことにするよ。
Yeah, he called her Sayo in that scene. But all the time? Yeah, I think all the time. Okay, that's great backstory for the events that will happen later on.
さよ。
はい。
I held her shoulder and drew her close. When I forcefully pulled her delicate body towards me, she dove into my chest like a doll. As I held her head in my arms, we both looked into the horizon.
真っ青な海だね。この海を二人で見られてとても嬉しいよ。
私もです。この真っ青な海をあなたと二人で見ることができてとても嬉しいです。
As we gazed at the great sea and the light rain began to sprinkle down, we kept listening to each other's heartbeats. This is great. I like it. The sound of waves flows into my ears. No, it's the sound of an enraged sea. My body, bathed in painfully cold splashes, doesn't allow me to forget. It will let me forget the memories of the day my old fate was broken and smashed. Once tomorrows were literally like looking into a mirror. All I ever saw there was the person I already was. Tomorrow was absolutely no different from today. That was my old fate. Wait, so they are aware of like episode 1? But then, for the first time, I saw a different fate beyond the mirror. The witch whispers to me. I got chills. She tempted me to take a bite out of the fruit of knowledge. She torments me, saying I will be furniture as long as I stay in a god's paradise. What? So this is Shannon's perspective then. Because the servants call themselves furniture. So I decided to choose the path of knowing love and tried to become a person. Those days were like sweet honey. But at the time, I didn't realize that they would be the start of a new kind of suffering. So this is not merely like redoing the last days. You know what's confusing for me? Because they said that she cannot basically revive people if someone don't believe in her. And it seems like, I don't know, this is like they are revived, but they still have memory from like last time, and it's also like rewinded time. This is really confusing. I don't know, you can let me know in the comment, because I'm really confused right now about how Beatrice's power works. Because, you know, like we had like in the tea party, she cannot revive people and use her magic if at least like everyone believe in her. Like if there's butler who don't believe her, then magic is not happening. She won't be able to like revive anyone or go back in time, so I don't know how it works. Maybe it will be explained later on, but if not, then you can let me know in the comment, maybe potentially without spoilers, if it's possible. If not, then you can just leave it be. I will figure it out, probably. But yeah, that's the confusing part, for now at least. I've arrived at a small island on motorboat I've only just learned how to use. No, this can hardly be called a small island. It's little more than a rock jutting out of the water. Okay, that's not Shannon's perspective. On this rock, who is this? There's a torii and a small shrine. It was probably built to worship the guardian deity of Rokkenjima. Even though I don't know exactly what it signifies, I know it has to be something holy. Even in a place like this, I've got to take just one more look around to see if there's anyone who might get mad at me for coming. I see nothing but the stormy ocean, Nijima looming in the distance, and the waves breaking against Rokkenjima's steep cliffside. So this is already in the part of story where the typhoon started, right? I ready myself. Timidly approach the shrine and take the mirror that lies there as an offering. What is happening? The mirror looks old, cloudy and dirty. That would probably make any normal mirror seems horribly cheap. However, since the mirror's been placed in the small shrine, its appearance seems to give some sort of divine quality to it. And there's one thing I can tell. This is no simple mirror. It's a mirror from Path of Exile. Yeah, sorry. I shouldn't. It may seem like an old, battered mirror to a non-believer like myself, but it has a great significance. So this is Butler's perspective, because we have a non-believer here and he don't believe in Beatrice. I think. Is it really okay to break this after being captivated by ornate words? Okay, so maybe that's not Butler? No, this isn't really a mirror. This is the life I couldn't escape until today, my fate. I will break it. I will smash it and seize the life that lies beyond this mirror. If I don't smash it, my life will be a pair of facing mirrors forever. Nothing will ever change in the slightest. The witch whispers to me. Is this the... Belkestein? That was her name? She tempts me to take a bite of a fruit of knowledge. Or maybe I've already tasted that fruit. After all, I've already experienced those maddening emotions. Wait, we are only 18 minutes in? Wow, I feel like... Oh wow, that flew. Just like Adam and Eve felt compelled to pluck their fig leaves. I can no longer go on without breaking this mirror. I've struggled with conflicting emotions for many days before this moment. Inside my heart, the virtuous part of me kept on fighting the part that sides with the witch. And now here I am. Did the part of me that's here right now win or lose? There's only one thing I know. To obtain something, you must be ready to lose something. Cowards who don't risk anything, who never betray to change anything, will never be given the key that opens the path to a new future. We have some equal exchange stuff here going on. That key is already in my hands, and that key is to break this, to smash it. So is this mirror a key that is mentioned in the epitaph at the beginning? Do we have access to the epitaph here? Oh, and we have everyone now, okay. And this is like... yeah, just their normal perspectives. Tips. Portrait epitaph, okay. Half downstream search of the key. Show off to return to slips the key to the golden lamp. Okay, I'm not going into this because this is like, what the fuck. Village. Maybe there was a village before, and it's only shrine now. Maybe? And there is a shore. So this mirror might be the key, actually. Okay, now it looks like it's Shannon. Is there another effort I can make as furniture imprisoned in Rokkenjima? Okay, this dialogue is going like all over the place. Firstly, I thought like it's Shannon, then I thought it's Butler, and now I think again it's Shannon. Like, what? No. This is the only way for me. Come, have courage. I will free myself from being mere furniture. And by accepting a new kind of suffering, I will become human. This is surely a small, yet large trial I must impose on myself. Come on, smash it. I will smash it to pieces. The eternally unchanging fate that imprisons me. I raise the mirror high. I think back of the days of conflict that came before. And finishing my reflections in a blink of an eye, I throw it down. The thunder rose, crying out against me for my outrageous act. It truly is the hatred of angels trying to banish me from the eternal paradise. Yeah, because the key is supposed to be used for going into the Golden Land, right? Like in the epitaph. I look down at the mirror, trembling at my feet, broken into two equal parts. And after making sure I accomplished my task, I scream up at the raging skies.
Yeah.
Yep, so this is Shannon.
約束は守りました。
What promise?
今度はあなたが約束を守ってくれる番ですよね。
Oh, so this is... I wonder who whispered to her, Beatrice or Belkenstein? I think that was her name. Thunder rose once more. I've already been banished from paradise. Yeah, so they definitely have like memories from last time. Why they are alive? Like, this is so... I'm so like... I don't know. So I will have to struggle on my own if I want to live. The witch told me. That is the single element of this world. To lose it means losing the world. Like how a canteen with a hole in the bottom can be filled, no matter how much water you pump into it.
約束は守りました。今度はあなたが約束を守る番です。私の願いを。ベアトリーチェ様。
So it was Beatrice. And we have opening again. Welcome back, I missed you. I wonder... I need to check the first opening, if it's different. Because I feel like there might be some differences. That one looked like... like episode 1. I feel like that was the same, but maybe there were some scenes added. I'm not sure. But now, after I'm like the first episode, there was a lot of stuff that I recognize and that I still don't like saw in the game, but when my mind go crazy. But I'm not going to talk about that right now because it would take probably too long and I need to like figure stuff out in my head first. There were like a lot of scenes. There were like, it looked like there will be more kind of Beatrice, and there was one that looked like Rosa, and maybe Rosa will be like some kind of incarnation? I don't know. Anyway, there was like a lot of stuff in this opening that I realized or can make talk after the first episode. So yeah, I will probably just leave it like that. I will check this opening after the video in some free time, and maybe I will do some theory. I don't know. You can ask me like in the comments. I'm gladly to talk with you. So yeah, I will just continue the story because we are like, holy shit, this is just 30 minutes. Wow. And we are inside right now. My mind wandered back to the days where I could barely imagine the happiness I have now. I was a middle schooler at that time. A normal girl who thought about love as much as you would expect of someone that age. Okay, I shouldn't talk too much. I wonder what's the meaning of destroying the mirror. What will happen? Like, what terrible consequences can that have? I think that closed the door to the Golden Land. So basically, if you are dead, then you are dead? Maybe? I don't know yet. Also, it seems like in this episode 2, Shannon will be the main protagonist? Maybe, so far she is. But in truth, I was wrong. It was wrong of me to have that dream. After all, I'm furniture. Furniture is nothing more than a tool, not a human. As a person less than human, simply receiving an education was an enormous blessing. So in reality, even thinking about falling in love was more than I deserved. The Ushiremiya family conference was a customary event held October, but relatives sometimes visited at the other times. Of course, they didn't came just to drink tea. On this day, Eva's family was visiting the head family on Rokkenjima. The 3 members of Krau's family and the 3 members of Eva's family and gathered on the parlor and were having a friendly chat about recent events. Genji was supposed to let Kinzo and Eva family arrival, but he still hadn't come down. Where's the rest of the cast? He was probably immersed in his research and couldn't spare the time. This often happens, so the others waited patiently for their fickle father to arrive.
ほう、それは頼もしいじゃないか。お父さんのところでたくさん勉強して、早く手助けができるよう頑張りたまえ。
ありがとうございます。今は父の紹介でたくさんの人生の先輩方に本当に貴重な勉強をさせていただいています。そのいずれも学校では学べないことばかりです。
That's true.
学校で習うのは国語算数やない。ものを学ぶ姿勢と態度を学ぶんや。
I mean, they should learn you like that. I mean, they should give you like, yeah, that outlook and attitude for learning more. But what it is right now, maybe it was different back then, I don't know. But Maybe it's different in Japan, but I mean, the school system is like terrible right now. Like this is like, I don't want to talk about schools, politics, and stuff. This is a very bad idea for YouTube. So yeah.
その基礎ができて、ようやく生涯をかけた勉強が始まるんやで。ここをな、勘違いしとるやつは生涯学べん石頭や。国語算数で満点取れても会社じゃ役に立たへん。
Or anywhere else.
全くその通りだよ。秀吉さんの教育方針はいつも本当にご立派ですな。
I mean, good scores helps, but it's not what it's like all about.
ジョージもまだまだ半人前や。それを常に忘れんで、勉強に励むんやで。
よしなさいよ、あなた。
Oh my god, I missed you, Eva. I missed your face. I missed your like voice. Holy shit.
ジョージはいっつも一生懸命頑張ってるわよ。ねえ。
ねえ。
本当に立派ね。うちのジェシカにも爪の赤を分けてもらいたいわ。
チェまだテストの結果を根に持ってるのかよ。受験勉強は私なりにやってるって。こんな席でまで言うことはねえだろうよ。うぜえぜ。
Once people started praising George for his diligence, the conversation usually turned to Jessica, who hated studying. I hated studying as well, like holy fuck, that was the worst. Jessica made an openly displeased face, as though she would know this would happen.
やれやれ。ジェシカは勉強と一緒に少しはおしとやかな言葉遣いも学ぶ必要があるんじゃないかね。後宮家の家紋を背負う一人娘がそれではみっともないな。
あら、これはこれで魅力的よねえ。時代は変わるのよ。男に食わしてもらうために定宿を装わなくてはならなかった時代はとっくに終わってるんだから。
そうそう。
I miss that smug on Eva's face.
やっぱエヴァおばさんは分かってますね。
I know Maria have pretty insane like facial expressions, but Eva is just like Eva is the peak.
今日は頭痛が特にこたえます。
大丈夫ですか？夏日おばさん、顔色が優れないみたいです。
ありがとう。大丈夫です。でも本当に月日が経つのは早いものね。半ズボン姿で浜辺を駆け巡ってずぶ濡れになって帰ってきた日がついこの間のように思います。
Okay.
それはジェシカちゃんも同じよね。今じゃお化粧の仕方にだってこだわるレディーなんだから。眉にこだわりがあるのね。今日のあなた、とってもキュートよ。
ありがとうございます。誰も気づいてくれなかったんで自信なくしてたとこです。
Well, Eva definitely like making attention to hair makeup, so yeah, she would notice. A full smile rose to Jessica's face as the result of her own studies were finally appreciated. Eva smiled back in the same way. Then she turned that smile towards Natsui.
ダメよ、夏日姉さん。自分のこの小さな変化にも気づかなくちゃ。かわいそうなジェシカちゃん。一番最初にお母さんに気づいてもらいたかったでしょうに。ねえ。
And she's starting a fight with Natsuhi already.
いいんですいいんです。あの人そういうの全然気づかない人なんで。
Aww.
ジェシカ、母親をあの人呼ばわりとは感心できんね。謝りなさい。
言葉遣いについては後でよく言って聞かせます。
お子様は邪魔だってんならそう言ってくれよ。私は席を外させてもらうぜ。ここは空気がよどんでるぜ。
ジェシカ。
Jessica was still at the age where tests and the entrance exams are pretty nerve-wracking. Recently, she would clash often with her mother, who was enthusiastic about her education.
失礼いたします。
Oh, there's George. Okay, she bumped on Jessica. Jessica, who was trying to leave the parlor in a bad mood, bumped into Shannon, who was pushing a serving cart filled with tea.
ああ、シャノン。私の分のお茶はいらないぜ。私は庭でもほっつき歩いてくる。
お嬢様？
シャノン、お茶が冷めます。
This is definitely different. We have only part of the cast. It's like half of people here. But if it's only half of people, then it's impossible for Ginzo and Beatrice start the ritual, right? So it shouldn't happen.
配膳を急ぎなさい。
失礼しました。
Shannon hadn't actually done anything wrong, but Natsuhi, who felt like something shameful to herself had been shown, lashed out at her emotionally. Yeah, that was the case last time as well. Like, if something bad happened, that was on the servants. This was something that often happened in the Ushiromiya family. But it seems Shannon wasn't strong-willed enough to just accept it and move on. She shrank back and covered while serving the tea. She had the unfortunate habit of making more mistakes when she covered. Yep, we know it from the last episode. Like from the last... yeah, they're called episodes. Her pity... but also episode is the channel episode on YouTube. How should I call the Umineko episodes? Like from the game? Chapters? Maybe I will call them chapters. Her pitiful appearance ruins and peaceful atmosphere that had existed a moment before. It wasn't really Shannon's fault, but she thought she might be the source and felt a pressure on her chest. Her shaking fingers made the utensils clang, and you couldn't have called it graceful, not even just to be polite. The more pitiful she appeared, the greater the silence grew. The more irritated Natsuhi looked, and the more Shannon covered. Shannon's thin neck felt like it was being suffocated and choked by the reaper known as stress. At that time, George spoke brightly, blowing away the stiff atmosphere.
これはいい香りだね。
Nice!
何の紅茶かな？
George for the rescue.
これは。
言わないで。当てるから。
Yeah, because she don't know what kind of tea it is, because Genji prepared it, right? No, not Genji, Gyoda.
これは特徴的な匂いだから多分わかるよ。
This is very different from the first chapter. Because in the first chapter we had the similar situation, but the family was whole. And she was also asked what's this tea, and she couldn't answer, and everyone was irritated and stuff. So far this story is going kinda on Shannon's mind, because George is helping her.
アールグレイ
Like,
かな。
effectively helping her.
多分そうだと思います。
多分アールグレイで合ってるよ。台所に戻ったら紅茶の缶を見てごらん。
ほう、ジョージ君は紅茶に詳しいのかね？
お世話になっている社長さんに紅茶の詳しい人がいまして、講釈を聞いているうちに少しだけわかるようになりました。
ああ、おこのぎ食品の社長さんかい。あの人、そういううんちくは得意やな。
紅茶の名前って産地を示すことが多いんでしょ？じゃあこれはアールグレイという土地で栽培されたのが由来なのかしらね。
Yeah, I wonder. I never thought about that.
昔イギリスにグレイ伯爵という人がいたそうで、その人にちなんでつけた名前だそうだよ。
Okay, that makes sense.
ちなみにこの特徴的な匂いは茶葉のものではなくて、ベルガモットというみかんの親戚にあたる果物でつけたものなんだって。
I like how Umineko is putting us some like info dumps on non-related to the story stuff, but also related at the same time. You know what I mean, like, story of the tea, we don't need it, but it's here because this is around the tea and it's about Shannon, basically. And this shows the knowledge that George have.
そうなの。初めて知りました。
Even Natsuki didn't know.
そういう知識を持っていると、紅茶もより美味しくいただけますね。
Oh yeah, definitely. If you know, like, there are people who can taste different stuff, like in this case, different teas. Some people are like liking to taste different wines, even if you have like, I don't know, 5 different sweet wines, and they can tell the difference. And for me, I probably wouldn't be able to realize that there are like 5 different wines if they are all the same. I mean, like all are the sweet ones, for example. So yeah, that must be like really amazing to being able to realize and recognize other brands and stuff. Can you do it? Like, let me know in the comment if you can, you know, distinguish some stuff. I don't know, maybe you are specialized in tea, maybe you are specialized in perfumes, who knows? Maybe some other alcohols? I don't know. Let me know in the comment.
酒もタバコも同じや。
I can kinda distinguish the beer, though. There was a time when I met a person that was into the stuff, into the industry and stuff, like the beers and, you know, other beverages. And yeah, I had a opportunity, yeah, that was the word I was looking for. Opportunity to like listen what's the difference between different brands and stuff, and I can taste them. I can taste like if I have not everything, because I'm not like specialist in that or anything, but if you give me like 5 beers and like 2 of them are like, for example, from your nearby shop, some are like from some higher brand and stuff, then I can tell the difference for most of the time.
嗜好品はロマンをたしなむもんやで。こういううんちくが味わいを深めるんや。
薬の能書きと同じよね。夏日姉さんも愛用してる頭痛薬の説明書、今度はじっくり読んでから飲んでみなさいよ。
Come on, Eva. You have to fight with her all the time. Really?
それはいい。今夜試してみなさい。
ええ、試してみます。
シャノンちゃん、そのポットを開けてごらん。茶葉の中にベルガモットを乾燥させたものが混じっているのを見つけられるはずだよ。
はい。入っています。オレンジの皮を乾燥させたようなものが混じっています。
うん。多分これがベルガモットだね。アールグレイの香りの主成分だよ。匂いは鮮烈だから味がきつそうな印象があるけど、 素直で飲みやすい味なんだよ。ミルクティーにすると香りもまろやかになって素敵かもしれないね。みんなに注いでポットに余った分があったら、ぜひミルクティーにして飲んでみるといいよ。
はい。
I don't like tea with milk.
ありがとうございます。
George gave her a small wink. Shannon finally realized that George had kind-heartedly swept aside the tense atmosphere in the room. Yeah. And he had done it for the sake of Shannon herself, a cowering servant. The Ushiramiya family did not pamper their servants, and display of awkwardness would be harshly punished. So it was rare for them to be given a helping hand like this. Thanks to George's kindness, Shannon managed to regain control of herself and finished serving tea without further incident. As long as she stays calm, she could carry out her work elegantly and flawlessly. Now I think about this, I thought all the time that we have like chronological order here, but I'm not sure. I feel... Actually... Okay, that might be the case, like... The situation on the beach, on the date, and this situation is one after each other. And then we have time skip, and we have the Rockin' Jima from chapter 1. Other possibility is with this chapter that this is like remade timeline, I would say for now, where the chapter 1 doesn't exist. But this is event before the date that we had at the beginning. So chronologically, first we have this one, and then we go for the date. I don't know, but it kinda looks like it might have sense. By the time the black tea was laid out on the table and its elegant scent filled the room, the atmosphere had completely turned to its formed peaceful mood, and everyone praised George's knowledge. Shannon wanted to thank him for saving her, but it didn't look like she would get the chance. So she decided to at least thank him inside her heart, praying to God that George would hear it as she pushed the servant cart away.
ジョージ兄さんは昔からそういう時には助け舟を出してくれるんだよ。
This is definitely a different time than chapter 1. Definitely.
話題をさらりと変えてくれるというかさ。
Sean and Jessica were in the rose garden. Jessica still hadn't returned to the parlor after getting into a fight with her mother and was nonchalantly killing the time here.
思い返せば、こういう助けられ方をしたのは今回が初めてじゃない気がします。
Whenever I made a careless mistake and George was around, I'm pretty sure he would always naturally smooth things over and restore harmony. Maybe it wasn't something as direct as picking up a fork that had been dropped, but that was his way of caring. Even servants have their pride. They want to fix their own mistakes by themselves. And if a guest lends them a hand, they will lose a face.
そういう空気を読むのが得意なんだろうぜ。ま、ジョージ兄さんの美学なんだろうよ。あの人、妙に気ざったらしいところあるからな。
そんなことありません。
I just thought, maybe this is the wrong place to think about that, but yeah, I just had that thought. About the opening. Opening have lots of scenes, and there was one scene in particular that took my eye on, and I feel like it's going to happen in chapter 2. You know? There was a pretty long showing scene. In rain, George lying on the side, looking at the camera. I think this is the new kind of suffering that Shannon is expecting after the breaking the mirror. We know all what that means.
とっても素敵な方だと思います。
ひょっとしてシャノン、ジョージ兄さんに惚れた？
This is going to be sad as fuck if that actually happens. It's going to be terrible. For once, Shannon had disagreed with Jessica in a slightly forceful tone, which immediately got Jessica's attention.
そういうことはないかと。
そういや、ジョージ兄さんってあまり浮いた話を聞いたことないし。あれ？確か家庭的な子がタイプだとか前に聞いたかな。そりゃいいぜ、シャノンぴったりじゃん。
私がですか？そんな、私にはそんな資格ありませんし。
資格はあるぜ。
Yep.
何年も昔から顔を合わせてて半ば幼なじみ状態。互いに男女であることを意識しないナチュラルな関係ってのは一度意識し始めるとトントン拍子らしいぜ。
Okay. Jessica loved teen magazines with this kind of story, and she was always getting excited talking about that kind of thing with her friends. She was very quick to pick up on love stories like that. So this wasn't the first time Shannon had been exposed to this kind of story. This certainly was the first time she would started thinking of George as a member of the opposite sex. She was furniture, while George was an honored guest and a member of the Ushiromiya family. Yeah, this sentence is what makes me think even more that the scene on the beach, and especially the scene... Wait, no! There can be 3 different timelines. I mean, not god damn it, not timelines. Chronological order. We have part with a date. We have part of smashing the mirror. And we have this part, which is like lovely, realizing stuff and stuff, you know, and everything. So I assume with this sentence right here that all this situation is before the beach episode. Right? Yeah, I think that should be. It can be other way. It can be first beach episode or this one. Either way, it can be switched around, I think. But most likely this is the first one. What happened? Then they had a date and stuff. Then we have some terrible stuff that will happen. So we have Blanc. And then we have Shannon smashing the window mirror. So she can probably like revive George. Impossibility. Or something like that. Yeah, I think the beginning of this chapter gave us the ending. The smashing mirror. She must have done this like after she loses George or something other happens that will make her break, basically. That's my theory for now. That the beach and this are first, but smashing the mirror is like after the events. Because it doesn't make really sense that after the cool, lovely date, she would go and just smash the mirror. Also, the beach episode was like, was kinda cloudy and stuff. And in the mirror we had like total typhoon. So it just makes sense that the time passed. Until now, she'd assumed that even imaginary, any deeper relationship with him would be impermissible. So she hadn't thought of it. Since it was someone else's problem, Jessica poked fun at it, seeming to enjoy herself. It was all Shannon could do to hide her blushing cheeks. But yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just like fixed on the mirror now. But Shannon was told that there would be like new kind of suffering. What kind of suffering will there be if the smashing of mirror is like after the events that will happen? I thought at the first that she broke the mirror and this world was created or something like that, along these lines. And the new suffering means that George might die. But on the other hand, if this is the ending and let her like revive George or something, then what's that new suffering? That would mean that this is kind of because that would mean that she suffered the George death. I will keep talking about George death because I think that's what will happen. Because we are mostly focusing on Shannon here, and this is like death flag basically. So what kind of different suffering is there if she like experienced that part already? I wonder what will happen. Like, wow. If George were to appear at the time like that, she would have no chance of keeping her cool. I saw George come out of the entrance hall of the mansion. It looked like he would see them as well. He headed over waving his hand. Shannon had to frantically try and regain her ordinary composure before George reached them.
おじいさまがやっと降りてきたよ。
He did! Okay! That's shocking revelation, and with that shocking revelation I will leave this episode. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Because I think this is the perfect spot to end. We are going to have conversation with Kinzo apparently, which is pretty shocking why he even go down. If this is backstory of what happened in the Rokkenjima later on, then I wonder what happened that he don't want to go down and talk with them later on. And if this is like different timeline, then I want to know what he have to say. Because for now, I'm pretty confused because we don't have... It's pretty early in the story, let's just face it. And this might be either two ways. Because the smashing mirror might happen as well in the chapter 1, but it was just off screen, you know? So yeah, for me, this story is going to two ways. Either it's this backstory of, like, you know, what happened in the chapter 1, and we will have like maybe time skip, and then we are going to chapter 1 basically again. Or it's totally different thing. So yeah, let me know what you think about this episode. Maybe you can clarify some of my confusion without spoiling much. So yeah, I will look forward to talk with you in the comments. So yeah, thank you, and I will see you in the next one. So for now, Pocket Watch is going out.